Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about Genesys once again. Who could have seen that coming? But as of recording yesterday, I went to my Denver regionals out here, and um, so I just want to do a quick deck profile, break it down. I played Vanquish Soul. Um, it's one of, if not my favorite deck of all time, and it also happens to be the best deck. So I got a lot of eye rolls and all that other stuff. I am just as ready for this deck to be hit as everybody else. I love this deck to death, but it's a little too strong. So I'm not going to go too in depth with it, unlike my other profiles, just because I want this to be kind of short and sweet. I'll go over some of the tech choices I did and some of the more complicated things, but for the most part, we'll just be breezing through this. So I'm playing 3 of each name. That's 3 Holly Sue, 3 Mad Love, 3 Razin, 3 Jowlong, 3 Borger, 3 Valius. This is important because you want to see these cards. And in a format like Genesys, where a lot of things are targeted, being able to play 3 of these guys is actually really strong. Also, just like the non-engine that's available to you, you can't play Fenrir, you can't play, Ghost Bell as easily, stuff like that. Earth really starts to matter, and having the 3 Valius is really important. And because things are so targeted in this format, being able to dodge them with Borger and Valius is really important as well. And also because this is a much more controlled game, there are times where you just blow somebody out of the water, but there are also times that you just sit in a grind game. And having a Borger plus a Mad Love is really strong. It's pot of greed every other turn. Yeah, I mean it's really good. I love these ratios. I will say sometimes going into games 2 and 3, I would side out the 3rd Valius, but that was only if I really needed to. From there, we got non-engine here. I'm playing 3 Rescue Ace Impulse and a Fire Attacker. I'm playing 2 DD Crow, playing 2 Vidos. I'm playing a Doggeran and a Radiant. The nice thing about Genesys for Vanquish Soul is that a lot of the good non-engine in this format is already Fire and Dark, and those are the 2 most important attributes for you. This is the best card in Genesys by a large margin. If you resolve this card, you're going to win 94% of the time, probably. And by playing a lot of non-engine that is Fire and Dark, you're really committing to seeing that Fire Dark. Just by having Holly Sue and a way to special summon her, and then a Fire Dark in hand, you get like 2-3 interactions on turn 0, which a lot of decks just can't fight through. So that's why this deck needs to get hit, honestly. But yeah, so the non-engine I'm playing, I guess I can go into that. 3 Impulse, tribute the Impulse, especially on the Fire Attacker when your opponent adds cards from deck to hand, or adds cards to their hand, draw 2, discard 1. So it allows you to dig for Holly Sue going second, and play on turn 0, and notably a Fire. This also is pretty good because in the mirror as well, you can just have this on board, and sometimes your opponent will play into it and just let you dig some more. DD Crow is the best 0-cost hand trap in this format. It has agency against almost every single deck, except for the mirror, So yeah, and then kaiju's. These are just good to have. Sometimes you just can't play over a certain card or something like that, and the kaiju's are really good for that. Doggeran especially. Mad Love can bounce back a lot of times, and so you get to reuse your kaiju and stuff like that. And then finally, this is my tech card of choice, Vidos. That is the Eruption Dragon of Extinction. This is basically a hand trap that stops field spells. And against the mirror, which I played twice, this card is really good. Against Archmage, this is really good. Against Generator, this is really good. There's a lot of decks in Genesys that love their field spell. And in the mirror especially, your opponent goes Mad Love, search, start. You just do this, and it kind of shuts off their entire turn unless they have Holly Sue. So, absolutely crazy card. I loved it. I didn't want to cut the DD Crow, so I decided to play 2 of each. And then I sided 1 of each extra copy for what I needed. That is all the monsters. You want to play a high monster count because you want to have the attributes in your hand, but there's also some really good spells and traps in here too. So 3 Stake Your Soul, another card that probably needs to see a point increase. Pretty self-explanatory on this card, especially because you're playing a majority Fire Dark. You're always going to be able to hit a starter off that card. This is basically just Mad Loves and Razins 4, 5, 6. Start, this card's insane. As long as this card is good, Vanquish Soul will always be a contender. Or as long as this card is legal. Just because the amount of advantage this card gets turn after turn after turn makes it such a huge win condition. So that's why I was playing the Vidos, was for this card. Playing Win Continue. This is pretty standard in Genesys Vanquish Soul. Just allows you to play the grind game a little bit easier, and because you don't have the Link monster, you get recursion and things like that. This is not super necessary. Sometimes I would just discard it off the fire attacker or something like that, but other times it came up. So 3 Pot of Extravagance. This is the best card in Genesys. Any deck that can play this card is automatically a leg up. There's a reason it's getting a point increase. But yeah, this card's insane. 2 Small World. This is consistency. Some people like to play 7th Tachyon because you can search other cards. What I will say is Small World is the best non-Rhoda in Vanquish Soul. It just requires you to think a little bit, and all roads lead through Razin. So if you're searching for a specific card, you can get to it through Razin a majority of the time. The only time this is not the case is Holly Sue, but there's enough lines to get to Holly Sue as well that it's fantastic. And then last but not least, I have Dark Hole. We'll go over my point totals here at the end, but I had 3 extra points and I just wanted to put in like a random good card. So I main decked a Dark Hole. This card came up a lot and was actually like really good. Anything that isn't VS, this card is actually kind of a house against, and it impressed me all day. So last but not least, 1 Snow Devil. Pretty standard. So that is the main deck. Exactly 40. You want to play 40 cards in this deck, at least in this format, because you want to see Holly Sue as often as possible, especially going second. This is your win condition in like 94% of games, so it's absolutely stunning. From there, extra deck. This is where I'm a little bit different. I didn't play Ash Blossom. You didn't see any Ash Blossom. Spoiler alert, I'm not playing Droll and Lockbird. So yeah. Playing 2 Valon, 2 Nash Knight, 2 CXZ's Nash Knight, 2 Masquerade, 2 Umbral Horror Masquerade, and that is your rank 5 package. Go see my last Vanquish Soul video if you want an explanation on how to use these cards, but basically you end on this guy or you end on Valon, and they're just good cards. So I didn't like to make these that often, but these cards are really good. If nothing else, they really force your opponent to do something and play into your Vanquish Souls cards. But I also just really like to just leave Holly Sue on the board. So as well, the rank up package with Nash Knight. I'm also playing Arc, or Silent Honor Arc, Silent Honor Dark. I did not want to shell out for 3 copies of Umbral Horror Masquerade. And I also just didn't think it was very necessary. So I decided to play these. I never made them, but I liked having the option. Same with number C107. This is basically just like, hey, I'm going to go and push for game. When it's summoned, you can detach material, and your opponent can't activate any cards or effects for the rest of the turn. So this just says, hey, I'm going for game. Playing an Exaton Knight, like I said in my last deck profile, you can make this card sometimes, and it's really fun when it does come up. This card's absolutely incredible. And then finally, the reason why my deck is so weird, I'm playing a Dice Smasher. This card is 67 points. And, yeah, just let that sink in for a second. 67 points. Alright, so, 3 Holly Sue, and Dice Smasher puts you at 97 points. You're already playing the best engine in the game. And, minus Odeon, like, this card kind of hoses a lot of the meta. So, I decided to play it. And in testing, it didn't do very well, but going into the tournament, I actually wrote 2 deck lists. I wrote one with Dice Smasher and one Dice Smasher-less. And nobody expected this card. I made it twice over the course of the tournament, once in round 1, and then once in a mirror match, and the guy had no idea that this was coming, and I just won from there. So, yeah, this card is crazy good. Obviously, it's banned in advanced. So, yeah, it was insane. Alright, so that is extra deck. Side deck, like I said earlier, I'm playing a Vidos and a DD Crow. This is just depending on what I need in any given match. You know, in VS, you don't need DD Crows, so I sided out the DD Crows, put it in Vidos, and just go from there. In, you know, Art Mage, DD Crow doesn't have as much agency, so I put in the Vidos. In other matchups, Radiant Typhoon or something like that, Vidos has no agency, so you take that out. So, yeah. These performed miraculous for me all day. 3 Flying Sea. I actually never sided this card in. I don't like playing it against... Or no, I did side it in. I played against Tistina round 1, and I sided this in. But you never side this in against VS because VS is more than happy to never, ever touch their extra deck. It's more of just a hindrance because you run out of room than it is, like, a problem. Against Dragon Rulers is pretty good. Against some rogue matchups, yeah, this card's pretty decent. Look forward to seeing this get points because floodgates. Playing 3 Exes Encore. This is kind of mandatory in this format just because there's some like random like towers monsters that you just never want to see. VFD, Disaster Dragon Ruler. What else? The Super Quantal Magnus is there. Yeah, there's just a bunch of just random janky Exes towers that this card just gets a Rongomniad. So, yeah. MVP of the day, Cosmic Cyclone. This card's just incredible. I put this in almost against every single matchup. Art Mage, you can hit their field spell, you can hit their traps. Going first is when I side that in against Art Mage. I don't side it in going second. Against VS, I sided in 1. When I would go against VS, I would take out the 2 DD Crow, put in Vidos and this. And just go crazy from there. What else? Tistina, this was really good against. Odeon, like this card's incredible. Playing 2 Dark Ruler. This didn't come up. I don't think so. I think I put it in against Vanquish Soul one of the matches because he was making his extra deck a lot, and I just didn't want to deal with Masquerade. But other than that, like this was more for like build-a-boards. I'm talking things like Manadium, Dragon Ruler, any of those kind of like just build a board, vomit their hand on the board, but don't have any like layered interaction. This card is incredible against. And then this was my MVP of the tournament, 2 Solemn Scolding. This card is so crazy good. I wouldn't be surprised if this got a point increase. This just says no to everything. So against Art Mage, I had this and a Cosmic. He Cosmics my Cosmic, and then he goes Fusion Deployment, summon Cartesia, normal summons Medius, and I just say no to that. And it ended his turn right there, right then and there. And this just like in a well-timed way, this card is incredible. So if this card doesn't get any point totals, find these cards because they're incredible. So yeah, that is the Vanquish Soul deck profile that I took first in my Genesys tournament. It was a really fun time. Played against 2 mirror matches, played against 2 Art Mage, played against Testina. It was a really fun time. Won this mat off of it. Beautiful mat. And yeah, that's about it. I'm looking forward to the point increase. Look forward to a video from me about that as soon as that goes live. And just where to go from there. So, see you guys.